Welcome to lecture number 3. This lecture is about understanding your credit score, which is also known as your FICO. So a credit score is usually between 350 and 850, and this represents the likelihood that you will repay back a loan. And so a high score means that you have good financial management, and your credit history shows that if you borrow money, you pay it back. A low score means that you typically have bad credit, and that if a person borrows you some money, you're not likely to get that money back on time, or maybe not likely to get the money back at all. And so most institutions use internal and external systems to determine your credit score. And your credit score is based off your credit report. So it takes into consideration the amount of open accounts you have. So how many credit cards, student loans, car loans, home loans. It looks at the total balance of your accounts. It looks at the ratio between balance and payment. It also looks at the payment history. So if you have a lot of delinquent or late payments, this brings down your credit score. If your payment history shows that you make on-time payments regularly, this increases your credit score. And so, as we mentioned, another word for credit score is FICO. So you may hear the term, hey, what is your FICO score? And that basically means, what is your credit score? FICO stands for Fair Isaac Corporation, which is a company that developed the FICO score rating. And this is the method that is widely accepted in America. So most financial institutions require a minimum credit score to qualify for a loan. So, for example, if you go to the bank and ask for a car loan, they may say our institution requires a minimum credit score of 600. And so, if you're below that 600 mark, the bank is probably not going to process an application for you to get a loan with them. Okay, so here's an example of FICO scores and categories. And so as you can see, good credit starts at about 700. Okay, so you really want to do your best to try to get up into the 700 credit score rating. Usually, if your credit is at 700, most institutions and most banks are willing to work with you when it comes to financing. Right below 700 is the fair credit category. This is usually pretty good. This means that your credit is, average, and you're pretty reliable when it comes to paying back any kind of debt. Anything below 650 is considered poor or bad, and you really do not want to be down here. Typically, people down here have a lot of credit card debt. They have a lot of missed payments, and they usually have accounts that are severely delinquent. So you want to avoid anything down in this category. If a bank sees anything like 550, 350, usually it means that your credit is bad, and that's usually an automatic denial when it comes to asking for money to pay for a house or a car. Here is an example of negative reporting on a credit report. And so, as you can see from this credit score analysis, um, this person has 6 negative marks on their credit. So they have 2 late payments reported and 4 accounts in collections. And as you can see, that their credit score is way below the good rating of about 700. And so they're down here, close to, well, basically they're at like 350. And so this is considered very poor credit. And as we stated, most institutions will not lend or borrow you money if your credit score is down around the 350 and 400. And so as you can see down here, they have, the accounts and collections. And so in order for this person to start rebuilding and getting their credit back up to like around here, they're going to have to call these agencies and work out how to pay back the amounts that they owe. And so once these amounts are paid back and they start to make on-time payments on their other accounts, slowly they will begin to build their credit from down here, and slowly it will begin to climb back up to like 600, 700. But the main thing is, if these accounts are present on your credit report, any kind of collections, your credit score is for sure going to be below 600 and 500. And so this is why it's important that if you owe anything, you pay it back, because if you don't, it's going to show up on your account, on your credit report as a collection account. And collection accounts really significantly bring down your credit score.